1947. The war was over. But the Soviet Union was not done fighting.
Dr. Morozov had one theory. Sleep was not rest. It was weakness.
5 men, erased from every file, given new names, given no future.
No destination, no explanation, only darkness and the sound of the road.
Concrete walls, a steel door, 6 beds. This was their world now.
Behind the glass, Dr. Morozov watched. And for the first time in years, Devig, he felt hope. The first 3 days passed with almost disappointing normalcy. Casimir had survived worse than a locked room, and the others knew it.
He walked to the mirror, looked through it, and said, "I know you are watching." Boria was 19. He had never learned how to wait. And waiting was all there was. The gas worked in silence. They lay down. They closed their eyes. Sleep never came.
The real danger was never the locked door. It was the men on the other side of it.
The cracks never announce themselves. They seep in, slowly.
Nikolai was not reading anymore. He was listening to something no one else could hear.
Demian prayed every morning. But on day 6, something in the prayer changed. Ruslan wrote without stopping, small, precise, as if outrunning something he could not name.
Boria stopped pacing. And somehow doing, that silence was the most frightening thing yet.
Should we be concerned? Morozov exhaled smoke slowly.
Day 8 arrived like a funeral. The lights never turned off. Time began to dissolve.
Nikolai leaned forward and began to whisper. The microphones could not catch the words.
Both of us. The same thing. They would not say what it was.
The door was always there. We simply could not see it. Until the sleep was gone.
Boria had not spoken in 2 days. Something had stepped back, left the body running alone.
They are suffering. Morozov did not look up.
All great discoveries involve suffering.
Day 10. The researchers had stopped making jokes. The mirror was doing something to them too. Casimir was supposed to hold longest. On day 10, Tane, he was the first to break.
Open the door before it is too late.
Ruslan dropped the pencil, looked at everything he had written, and never picked it up again.
Morozov read it twice, folded it into his pocket. His face gave nothing away. Almost.
She read it 3 times, locked the door, turned on the tap, and did not move.
3:14 in the morning. Day 12. For the first time in 4 days beyond, Boria stood up. He stood perfectly still, arms at his sides. The posture of it sent a chill through every researcher watching. What came out of him was not fear, not pain. It was the sound of something that had seen what it could not survive seeing. For 2 hours and 47 minutes steady, not one of the other 4 men looked at him, as if they had been expecting it.
4:30 a.m. Volkova walked into his office, both hands flat on his desk. Her silence said everything.
She straightened her coat. She walked out. She did not contact the ministry. She did not stop writing either.
Volkova transcribed what she read, then wrote beneath it, "I wish I had not read this."
She closed the notebook. and did not sleep that night. For the first time this many, she understood the 5 men in the chamber.
When the screaming stopped Levi, the silence that replaced it was somehow worse. It had weight. It had intention.
Before the screaming, he had looked empty. After it fell, he looked unbearably full. Something old had come back with him.
On day 13, Casimir sat up, looked at the mirror, and began to speak in the voice of a man making a final report.
Sleep is not rest. Every night we close a door. The gas removed our ability to close it. Now we see what was always there.
Morozov asked what was on the other side. Casimir looked at the mirror and silently refused.
He lay back down, folded his hands on his chest, stared at the ceiling.
Day 14. Routine footage review. Sasha rewound it 3 times before he could believe what he was seeing. 3 consecutive nights, between 2 and 5 in the morning. All 4 of them nighting, writing, without instruments, without discussing it.
Casimir had no pen, no paper. He wrote on the soles of his own shoes, every inch, every night.
The researchers enhanced the footage, adjusted the angles. Every surface showed the same words, the same sequence. Volkova wrote down what she read from the footage. Then her pen stopped and would not move again.
She closed the notebook, sat in the dark, eyes open. She did not sleep that night.
By day 15, the smell had reached the observation room. Not sweat, not neglect.
Nikolai and Demyan sat at opposite ends of the table now. They no longer needed to lean close. The distance had stopped mattering.
Ruslan sat with eyes closed, breathing slowly, looking like a man at peace. He was the most dangerous thing in the room.
Casimir had stopped eating. The food arrived. He looked at it, as if the body that needed it had become someone else's problem.
Boria began to move through the chamber at night, touching the walls, reading something in the concrete, seeing things no camera could capture.
Boria stopped before the mirror. For 37 seconds, he looked through it. Both researchers felt Tai, personally, seen.
Day 16. Casimir stood up, walked to the microphone port, and made a request unlike anything before.
Morozov stood before the mirror for a long time, considering. The request was too calm. That was the problem.
Paper and pens were passed through the food slot. Within minutes, all 5, including Ruslan, including Boria, were writing.
6 hours. Then Casimir collected every page, organized them, placed them neatly at the food slot.
Come and get them.
Morozov took the pages to his office, locked the door. He did not come out for 11 hours.
He burned every page in the furnace that night. He never spoke of what was written. In his
Day 18. Volkova placed a formal written complaint on his desk, a paper trail neither of them could make disappear.
Through the secondary hatch, she looked at what the cameras had never been able to show. And everything changed.
The injuries were not frenzied. They were deliberate, methodical. Each subject had packed their wounds with material from the chamber.
Boria looked up at the light. His lips moved. Nothing hurts anymore. That was the first thing that changed.
Don't open the door. We can't sleep now. We can never sleep now. If you make us sleep tonight, please. Don't.
She walked in without knocking. The experiment was over. He looked at her for a long time. Then he picked up the telephone.
6:47 in the evening, day 18. The steel door was unlocked. The extraction team entered. They were not prepared.
The lights adjusted. 5 shapes became visible. Not random. A formation. Equidistant.
The flashlight beam found Casimir. His eyes were open, wide.
Casimir was not looking at the soldiers. He was looking at the open doorway behind them. His lips moved. We leave.
The soldier began to speak. Casimir's expression changed. And then Tvogna. Everything happened at once.
They did not fight to escape. They fought to close the door. 5 men against 6 soldiers. What happened next defied every report that tried to describe it.
Casimir, Nikolai, Ruslan.
Sasha became a literature professor. He spent his career studying myths about doors, about what lit.
Volkova submitted her private notes to a sealed archive. They have been transferred 7 times since.
Morozov retired to a small apartment in Leningrad. He lived alone for 11 years.